Okay, well guys, today we are going to finally get to the valve springs, push rods, and valve spring bridges, and then readjust the lash and all that. So we're going to start taking this off. Took this off, the boot off. Going to take this elbow out, get this off, get the fuel lines off, move it all out of the way, and then start at it. I'll get back to you in a second. Alright guys, so this is what I got done so far. I took the Banks Monster Ram elbow off, took the valve cover off, and I'm taking the little nuts off the fuel injectors. Be very careful with these things. You want to do them by hand. You do not want to torque on those at all with a wrench, because you will snap that little post right off there. So even when you put them on, I would just tighten them a little bit by hand. And then when they get down to there, I would just maybe put a socket on it and spin it on by hand. I would not wrench on those at all. And what took me so long was the Banks Monster elbow was stuck on there. The dang gasket there was sealed perfect. So I must have did a good job when I put it on the first time, but ooh, it had to come off. Luckily I have another gasket, because that one come off in pieces. So I'm gonna have to use that other gasket that I got. So luckily I have it. So now we're going to take off the electrical thing here, the electrical gasket, and we're going to start taking off the rocker arms. So I'll get back to you in 1 second. Okay guys, so last night, here's what I got done. I got a little sore, so I had to slow down and stop. My right hip's out or something. Who knows. But anyways, I got this done, and I got all the rocker arms taken off. The fuel injectors popped out. I figured you didn't need to see that, because a lot of people already video all that crap. But I got all that stuff taken out. I have it organized over here. Here's my topside creeper. And I have it organized in here, 1 through 6. Fuel injectors are organized here, 1 through 6, 1 on the left through 6. And fuel lines are up here in a box, 1 through 6, along with that. So now we're gonna pull out. Here's my dang paper towel. There's my Banks Monster Ram. So now we're gonna pull out the tools that we got with this kit from Ohio Diesel. Kit was pretty good, but we're going to pull out the Hamilton cams, valve springs. Nice valve springs, very, very hard. Gonna like that. And then we're gonna, I got the tool to pull out the injector tubes from it was the Torque Tools. I got this on Amazon. We shipped to my house the next day. So it was bought from Engineered Diesel. They're here in Michigan, where I live. You get 5% off if you want to enter that code right there. So I got that tool. It pulled the tubes out perfectly. They came out real nice, easy peasy. So I got the other one, like JJ over at JJ's Garage. JJ bought these kits from Dorman for the fuel injectors to put them back in. So I bought 2 different ones, one from Dorman and one from somebody else, because I didn't make sure I have enough in case something goes wrong. I'm crazy like that. I always got to buy a couple things. You can see I have downloaded the instructions from Fleece on how to do the valve lash. I've also got instructions from another place for the torque specs. I have my feeler gauges that I bought from Harbor Freight. I have the rest of the kit, which is the retainers for the valve springs, new ones. They came with the kit from Ohio Diesel. And I have my valve bridges, XDP valve bridges, billet ones. I got those from Power Driven Diesel. I like the guys over at Power Driven Diesel. They are always taking care of me. And Josh over there at Power Driven Diesel always answers my questions on YouTube and helps me out a lot. And then we have the Extreme Duty push rods from Hamilton also, along with those valve springs. And these all came from Ohio Diesel. So everything's ready to go. We're going to start doing the valve springs right now. We got them, everything's set. I just got to go to top dead center. And then we'll pour this out. Here, we'll pour it out on the carpet. So I got my tool here for pulling the valve springs out. I got the other tool here that you can use for, oh, they sent me one Ohio, there it is, Ohio Diesel parts. That's who I got these parts from, ordered them on Amazon. They had a package deal, came with that tool, the bar tool, and I don't know what that's for. Probably not going to use it, don't need it. But this one spins the transmission, which will give you top dead center. We're going to use that, or we're going to just go off the front crank. Everybody said just go off the front crank and use a wrench and turn it. And then here's the valve spring tool from them too. So we're going to use that stuff and get her going and get these valve springs changed and get the motor back together so I can go rip it up. And if we get enough likes and we get enough subscribers, I'm going to go buy some tires. And after I get this all done, I'm going to go burn the tires off until they pop. So if we can get enough likes and enough subscribers going here, we're going to burn the tires off until they explode. All right, another thing, guys. When you're doing your truck, let me put these glasses on because I just can't see shit. When you're doing your truck, make sure you cover up the top half of your engine. Make sure you cover it all up when you're pulling those valve springs out. Because unless you buy keepers up front, I couldn't find any and couldn't get any here. They 2, 3, 4 weeks to get some keepers. The little pieces that lock the valve stem to the springs, couldn't get them here fast enough. So I'm going to put covers over every place except for where I'm working. I learned that from JJ's Garage. He's helped me through this. So has Greg Albera. He's helped me through this. Albarella, however you want to pronounce it. And also Josh over at Power Driven Diesel. His YouTube is Horse Torque Diesel. He has answered all my questions. These guys are all great, and this is what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to help everybody. So either cover up your whole engine so that those little keepers don't fall in, or buy an extra set. If I could have bought an extra set, I would have bought an extra set. And also make sure they don't fall down into the head, because if they do, if you're lucky, they'll fall into the oil pan. If you're not, they'll fall into the piston and grind up your piston and screw everything up. So I'm going to have to be extremely careful and make sure that I don't drop any of them, because I don't have them to replace them. So we're going to have to take our time and get it done. Okay, so guys, we're going to find top dead center now. So I'm going to go underneath there. My crank pulley is rusty, so I'm going to have to spin it around a couple times, and I'm going to mark it with a marker. And we're going to have to find out where that top dead center is. And then we will start putting the valve springs in. Shouldn't take that much. Just got to spin the dang crank around a couple times and see where the line is. Hopefully mine's not worn off or rusted over. Otherwise I'm going to pull my hair out. But anyway, so I'm going to jump underneath the truck right now and get this. And then as soon as I get up top, I'll start videoing again. Okay guys, so I'm going to start changing these valve springs. Just went and hung upside down because my right leg is, my hip's out. So I had to hang upside down on my inversion machine to pop my hip back in. So here's what JJ from JJ's Garage did. He marked it with a piece of tape. I put it on top dead center. And there. That's where the piston's right up. So we're good to go. We change 1 and 6, and then I'll move it again, and we change the other ones. So we are ready to go. I want to say again, thank you to JJ's Garage for helping me out on this, and for Josh from PPB Diesel. His name is Fire Torque Diesel on YouTube. Thank him too for answering all my questions all the time, all my silly questions. And thanks to Everything Diesel too for being one of the first guys to do the compounds. So thanks to all you guys, and that's what I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to help everybody out, trying to get this going. So we're going to get it going now. Okay guys, so we found out, first time me doing this, so I'm getting a little excited here. Found out how to do it. Got her on top dead center. We're going to do the 1 and the 6. And then 2 and 5 and 3 and 4. And we'll get these springs done real quick. Throw the push rods in. And everything will be good. That's what we're going to throw these springs in. These new springs. Awesome. Can't wait. So we got the retainers. Nice retainers from Hamilton. And we got the springs from Hamilton like I showed before. And we're going to do rocker arm bridges by XDP. So as soon as we get them in, I'll give you a picture of the first ones, and then we'll do the rest of them real quick. Okay guys, we got the first one done. No problem. We're off to the races. Now we're going to go to 6. And then we'll spin it. So everything's good. All the new ones are in. The first valve there, the first cylinder. It's good to go. Very happy. Thank you. Okay, we got number 6 done, which is the one that's the pain in the ass. So that's good now. 1 and 6 are done. The rest of them are going to be a breeze. So we're going to turn the motor over and get the rest of them done. As soon as I'm done with that, I'll video some more when I do the valve lash and I put the rocker arm bridges on. Okay guys, valve springs are all done. Totally done. Just gotta throw the rocker arm bridges in, rocker arms, and the fuel injectors. And then we're ready to put everything back together. I gotta take a 10-minute break here. But it looks good. Everything's good. Nothing's moving. Okay guys, putting the fuel injectors in. I put new copper washers on, new rubber washers. Just put new rubber washers on all the feed tubes. Putting those back in. And the feed tubes, you just got to put them with the little bump going up, and it just pops right in real easy. The fuel injectors were a little bit harder. Near the rear, I just tapped them with my little rubber hammer, and they went right in, no problem. Just tapped them flat so they didn't mess with the little screws on top, the electrical connectors. And then near the back, I put this hammer like this on top of it, flat, and then used my, oh, sorry about that, used my pry bar and just pried it up against the firewall, and boom, and they plopped right back in too. That was an easy way to do it without having to scratch them all up or ruin the top bolts there that hold the electrical connectors on. So you can do that if you'd like to, if you don't have one of those tools that put them on. I didn't buy one. So that's about it right now. I'm getting the last feed tube in, and then it's the rocker arm bridges, and put the rocker arms back on and adjust the valve lash. All right, so we got it all torqued down. Torqued, the sequence was this nut here to 11 foot-pounds, and then these to 44 inch-pounds, and then back to here to 37 foot-pounds, and then the final torque for the fuel injector is 71 inch-pounds. So we did all that, and then I put my rocker arm bridges on and the push rods in, and the push rods just go in and they get like a little suction feeling, so you know they're in that little cup down there below. And now we're going to put the rocker arms on. All right, guys, so what I did here is you put your crank at top dead center, mark it. Trust me, mark it with a silver marker or white paint or something. Mark it at top dead center and mark it at 6 o'clock too. And so the first time you go through, you're going to do your 1, 2, 4 intake and your 1, 3, 5 exhaust. And you're going to do that with a, for a 6.7 Cummins, it's going to be 0.010 for your intake and 0.026 for your exhaust. And then after you do the 1, 2, 4 intake and the 1, 3, 5 exhaust, turn the engine over 360 degrees, and then do your 3, 5, 6 intake and your 2, 4, 6 exhaust. And then you're done. Valve lash is finished. And then I'm going to reinstall everything. So I'm just finishing off number 6 right now. And then I'm going to put everything back together and we'll start it up. All right, guys. Got the valve springs done. Got everything hooked up. Everything's all back to normal. One thing, don't forget the sensor on the back of your Monster Ram arm when you're trying to start it, because you're too tired because you've been out here all damn day long. And don't forget the other sensor going into the side of your crank case there. That one forgot to, and it made it start all funny. Made it hobble and wobble and everything like that. Shut it off, came out here, checked everything, found it. Then finally, after about 10 clicks, it started when the computer cleared. And then the only other thing is, do not spray WD-40 or white lithium grease in the top to lubricate your bridges, your valve spring bridges, because if you do, your truck will smoke for probably about 15 minutes. And that's what mine did. And that's about it. But otherwise, everything runs good now. I took it for a ride, filled up the gas tank, drove it around up and down the expressway, and everything runs good. Matter of fact, it runs a little bit more responsive. With the new valve springs and push rods, seems like it's on top, so maybe the valve lash was just off a lot because it had 170,000 miles. So now it just runs really good. I can't complain at all. And thanks to JJ's Garage again. He answered my questions again late at night at 8 o'clock at night. Thank you very much. And we are going to start her up And she's going to run perfect. So we'll see here. Oh, get in the truck. I'm old. And there you go.